Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am live. You might be watching this in the archive on Facebook. Maybe you're watching it in the archive over on YouTube, or maybe you are live with me. So thank you wherever you're watching it. My name is Mitchell Osborn. You can find me at mitchellosborn.com right there. And I'm a psychic medium. I'm an animal communicator, pet psychic. I also do tarot and Lenormand card readings. And I also work in a capacity of a mindfulness transformation coach, often using like NLP, EFT, even hypnosis and hypnotherapy, and that works. So if you're out there watching me, I'd love for you to say hey and maybe where you are watching from in the world. Tonight's going to be an interesting one. Lots of cool stuff has been happening. I've been prompted to speak about something tonight. So first of all, just a welcome to everybody wherever you're watching. Thanks for tweeting this out, watch partying it. If you're watching it on Facebook, thanks for sharing. If you're watching it over on YouTube, thanks for subscribing to my channel and then hitting that little bell button where you'll receive a notification when I download something like this. So hello, Norm. Yes, thank you very much. It's good to see your little smiling icon face. Yeah, so tonight, and you probably already know why you're going to need it. So I'm going to set an intention for all of us in just a moment, and then just kind of give a little update of what's been going on, some cool stuff. Then I'm going to pull one card from the Arc Animal Tarot deck and one card from the Arc Animal Oracle deck from Bernadette King. Beautiful, beautiful deck. This is a massive deck. It's got a giant book that goes with it. The book is absolutely an amazing piece of work all on its own. And then normally I have a lesson, but tonight, hey Trisha, but tonight, I'll tell you what I'm going to do, and then I'll elaborate on the story. I'm going to be kind of just connecting to all that's going on the planet right now, especially dealing with the animals, especially Australia, especially fires. And I'm sure you've seen the images that are probably hard to look at. We might use the word disturbing. They might be heartbreaking. I'm going to talk a little bit about that from a high-level spiritual place. We'll talk about the human experiences as well. Hey, Christy. And then I'm going to talk about animal numerology. So if you stay towards the end, and this will probably be about a 45 minute one at the most, just depends on how many of you want to get the numerology done. Because basically I have my handy dandy little numerology calculator that, yes, Norm, and I'll definitely talk about that. And I'll talk about what we can do energetically and then other things as well. And by the way, if anybody is watching this and you know, this is one of my big challenges whenever things go on. If any of you know of a good and reliable place to donate towards for the Australia stuff, please post the link here, whether you're live or in the archive. For Puerto Rico, I always donate to the Sato Project, S-A-T-O. Always do your research and trust your intuition, because let's be honest, you can get a hold of or get part of a group that either is just a complete scam or the majority of their money goes to the big wigs running it. And you can usually find pretty quickly. Hey Lorraine, hey Cheryl, you can usually find pretty quickly which ones. But the Sato Project, literally, they bundle up dogs from Puerto Rico, and they bring them over to the U.S. They rehome them. Everything I've read, everything I've researched and done, it's been pretty good. I hate to say it this way, but if you ever see something different, please let me know. There's Paulicious Pooch Pet. It's over in Tampa, and they rescue a lot of senior small dogs, mostly a lot of Chihuahuas and stuff. I have not given money to them, but I follow them. My main one has been Sato, and just after the Puerto Rico was hit with these earthquakes too, so they're probably hurting again. But anyway, so lots to talk about tonight. So let me set the intention for all of us here, and for all the animals around the globe, big, small, microscopic. You know, and I just remembered something. Remind me to talk about the orcas. Orcas keep popping up in my mind too. So the intention I set for all of us, let me just see, somebody's Facebooking me. Okay, somebody, I didn't know if it was about tonight. So anyway, so the intention I set for all of us watching this, whether you're live or in the replay, and for the animals around the globe, small, medium, large, and microscopic, take some deep breaths. If you want to close your eyes and it's safe for you to do so, feel free, is that we would all receive healing, guidance, confirmation, grounding, centering, balance, peace, harmony, alignment, joy, abundance, love, great care, compassion, health, wellness, safety, courage, and encouragement. I set the intention that we would resonate, operate, and vibrate in the highest frequency of that divine source, that pure white light, love, God, goddess energy that we can. And I call in any and all of your and my and those animals around the world, their guides, their angels, whether we know who they are or not, anything vibrating high, into this session, into this time that we have together. As long as they stay in high vibration and play nice, all of this for our highest good and greatest growth, I say, and so it is, and so it is. So, interesting thing, some of the what's up. So, we had a big full moon and an eclipse that was in Cancer, because full moons are in, I think they're opposing. So it was in Cancer, and we're in Capricorn. So very feminine energy. But all the astrologer, David Lawrence Palmer, the Leo King, Mark the Midwest Medium, who is an amazing astrologer, they were all saying this was a big effing deal going on. Whatever was happening, you know, it kind of explained why we're having so much difficulty with, you know, politics and leaders and the fires and the earthquakes and stuff like that. So check both of them out, David Lawrence Palmer, Mark the Midwest Medium. They're both on like Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. But the last couple of weeks, they've really said some powerful stuff. And, you know, I tried to do that whole, okay, let me just be open to what's coming and not like, okay, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Just look for it. Just to be open, be ready, be mindful when something happens. And one of the cool things, and this is when like stuff just hits me in the face. First of all, and I was just reminded by Spirit, twice now, it was like, well, it might have been 3 times. Orcas kept popping up on TV, popping up in my news feed. There was one image of a woman swimming off the, you know, maybe 40 yards off the coast of an island somewhere, just swimming, and all of a sudden 3 orcas, a mama and babies, come up and they just start going around her. They were literally within feet of her, and her in a black wetsuit. She totally looked like she could be like the seal. And she just, you know, it's a drone following her. And, you know, I can imagine the drone person's going, oh my gosh, I'm about to witness a woman being eaten. But they never did. They did not bite her. And finally, at one point, you can see her stop, and she realized it's not dolphin, it's orca. And she kind of just kept swimming, and she could have made a sharp left and gone back to shore, but she just kept swimming because she didn't want to make these gigantic turns. But if you Google that, you probably find it. But it was one of those where I'm holding my breath watching it, because it's one of those, you're not going to believe what's happening next. And then another man he saw some stuff out of the water, and he jumped in his kayak and he went paddling out there, and there's a pod of orcas. And I'm like, first of all, dude, you're crazy for doing that. But wow, what an amazing video he had. So I love that here are killer whales with humans, and they're behaving. You know, these are people who are just minding their own business in the world. I just finished an amazing book from Penelope Smith. Write that name down. She's got 3 wonderful books about animal communication. And the ending of her book, which I just finished today, one of the 3, I've read all of them, was she believes, and I thought, oh my gosh, yes, I do too, because as a child, I felt this. She believes that there will be a day where we won't have to have animals in cages and we can experience them. We won't have to go to a zoo to experience the animals, because we'll be able to be living in harmony. And this is very utopian. This is very heaven-like. This is very, you know, what's the other, you know, magical, you know, just like the perfect 5D world, you know. And I really do believe there'll come that point, you know, maybe this is what it was like, you know, back in, quote, the Garden of Eden. But I feel like we'll have that pleasure, you know, because anytime I'm at a zoo, you know, whether they have good, great standards or not, I always thank the animals for allowing me to be able to get this close to them. Because there are some animals like gorillas, like giraffes, where I probably would never be able to be within feet of them. And I thank them. I send them beautiful high vibration. I say, if there's a different way for this experience to happen, let it be. Because sometimes they're not. We once we know better, we're doing better, and I think that's happening. Hey, Gina. But that was one coincidence. And the other one was literally Friday night, we come out of a movie. We saw 1917, by the way. It was a little bit of a, heart in the throat, go, 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 kind of good, great movie about a difficult time in our world. It was World War I, and two guys had to get a message to the front line. But it was, like I said, powerfully filmed, acted of a difficult time in our existence. But I came out of the movie and I had two messages from two random people who I've been in physical contact with and know somewhat. And one of them was at a retreat. And unbeknownst to me, the person who was doing the retreat asked me to film a special video for them, about the full moon and everything like that. So she's like, "You're not going to believe this. I'm at a retreat and I'm watching you." So I thought that was like, just bizarre. And literally the next message was someone who's not in the state of Florida, one of the other southeastern states. And they're like, I'm at my doctor's office, who's a holistic doctor. And the doctor starts talking about me. And I know you. And talking about Mitch Osborn. And he's like, I know this man. So here are two people, quite a distance from me that do know me personally. We've met in person, and they're connecting with two people who know me personally. So it's just these bizarre coincidences. And, in a very, and I say this because most of y'all probably know I'm not really like egotistical kind of a person, but I literally went, what does that mean for me? And I just kept thinking, it means I'm becoming more global. So it means I'm expanding out. And I did do an online, a gentleman's YouTube channel the other day that was from England, but a lot of people in the U.S. watch it. Gina, I'm in Orlando. Yes, I'm in Orlando. So I did do something that was a little more global, and I have a lot of clients that are global, but not the global kind of recognition. I mean, I think people might know who I am just because of following me and stuff. But it was really interesting, that coincidence, and just anytime you notice these things like the orcas popping up, or all of a sudden two people randomly 2 weeks ago. It was like I kept running into people who broke their foot. And, foot problems are about, afraid to take that next step forward, so maybe I followed that and took the step forward, and here I am being rewarded. So it's kind of a cool connection there. So if you've had any bizarre, like full moon, eclipse, crazy stories, type in some stuff over to the side. So, hey, Gina, there is, it's coming up, I think, next weekend, but Christiana Gaudette runs the Tampa Bay area tarot meetup. She has since moved down south, but every once in a while she comes up over to Lutz, which is near Wesley Chapel. And I think it's the Saturday or the Sunday coming up. No, it's the 26th of January. So it's tarot meetup. It's 3 p.m. in the afternoon, but you can see that on the Tampa Bay area tarot meetup if you're interested in learning more. Or I have a Orlando Tarot Tribe meetup here. Today we went over the Norman cards again. So, Norm, thank you. I'm the Orlando Star. Cheryl, pennies everywhere lately. Yes. And, determine what that means for you. And if you don't know, just say, Spirit, what does this mean? Does it mean financial gain, or is it some pennies from heaven, which a lot of people associate with loved ones giving them signs? The best advice I can give anybody about stuff, hey, Barrett, is just simply ask questions. When something happens, say, what does this mean? And then trust that the information will come. Trust that you'll know. Trust that your angels and guides will give you that information. If you want to look up something cool, look up Cledonism. And I will type it in Cledonism. I typed that word in, Cledonism, Google that. And it was a practice from the ancient, I think it was Greeks, but it was ancient times, where in the morning they would wake up, they would have a quandary, they would have questions, and they would propose these questions to the gods and say, what does this mean? What's my next step? where should I go? Where's love? And then they would just walk out into the square, the marketplace, and they would just listen for snippets of dialogue and conversation that would give them the answers. I always tell people our modern day Cleanism is songs on the radio, memes on the internet. And those two things definitely come up. So yeah, Cleanism. So check that out if you want to kind of Google something. It's kind of a cool practice. It really is. I mean, we do it already. It's just we may not realize it. So let me pull, and I'm just going to do an individual card for the collective. And this is from the Arcanimal Tarot first, and then the Oracle second. Beautiful, beautiful deck. And so the card for this evening for us is going to be, ta-da! All right, the mouse, which is 3 of Pentacles. And some of the key words you can see: collaboration, follow your dreams, research. I got to be honest with you, I find research and having a mouse very interesting choice. Kind of a harsh one, but I get it. Because a lot of times the 3 of Coins or 3 of Pentacles can be about criticism. It can be about, you doing the work. But I love this card. So for us, I would say the 3 of Pentacles, this is a good time for you to do the work. We're going to be talking about animals and stuff like that. Especially, I put down my notes. I put down, euthanasia, death, and the fires over in Australia. Those are kind of the subject, and I'm going to just kind of go over what I tapped into today, and give you some of what I would call a very high spiritual level things. So with that in mind, definitely see where you can collaborate. Make sure you are following your dreams. And if you're not sure what your dreams are, do a little Cleanism. You know what? Wake up in the morning tomorrow and say, all right, Spirit, I'm not really sure what my dream is, what my purpose is, what should I be doing? And then just allow the information to come. Don't be in a rush. If they aren't getting it to you, then they're going to have to speak louder. And if you keep asking, they're going to eventually talk. So from the Oracle deck, what is our message for the evening? The sheep, which is innocence, gentleness, appreciation. And I feel like this, speaks to, the animals of the world, how they are very innocent, and that we can, connect with them in an appreciation and make a big difference. And tonight I'm going to talk a lot about the energetics of all that's going on, which is, like I said, it's a little bit higher perspective, not so human, but we will honor our humanness in all of this. And I'll tell you what that means in a moment. So there's our kind of message for tonight. So, and you guys feel free to, post in the comments and stuff. So, someone that I know, I follow, and we've had a few conversations on Facebook, and I highly respect this person, private messaged me and just said something like, my animal companion, just keeps looking at me worried. And this person said, I know it's about all the stuff going on in Australia. And I just replied back and I said, yeah, I know. I said, it's very difficult, to look at a lot of the images and stuff. And I got a real stark in your face kind of message back from him. Not like mean or on purpose, but it was reality hitting me. And he said something to the effect of, well, don't turn away from it because we are looking to you. And the stark realization is, and I know this on a level, but I also know one of my personal struggles and one of my personal karmic lessons this lifetime is to step to the front, is to step to the stage, is to be leader, is to be what I just talked about, a global personality. And, there's a scaredness, there's a I want to remain humbleness, there's a, fear of getting it wrong that bubbles up in me. And in that moment, this person saying, we're looking to you, it was a reminder of something that, Spirit and I have talked about. And I have to remind myself every once in a while, I am an expert in this field. I am an expert in the field of tarot, on some level. There are people much more experts than some, but I am an expert in that field, and I am an expert in animal communication. And the reason I say that is because I've taught the classes, I do the work, I'm presenting on the main stage at Reader Studio for Divination Day, animal communication. So I try to downplay it and probably because of, again, like fear and things and stuff like that. But I realize I always have known that this is my time to step forward, even if I'm fearful. Because in one of my past life regressions, when I was going through all my training, I was in Atlantis. I was the one who gathered the crystals from the ocean, the beach, and I brought them to the 12. And I was number 9 of the 12, whatever that means. And it became more clear later in my personal meditation. But I knew that here I was, as like a leader and a guide, but I knew stuff was coming. I knew the collapse of the civilization was coming, and I did nothing about it. I didn't warn or tell people. And because I probably would have been, abused, killed, punished, or reprimanded, or just, been had harsh words or been trolled, how they do today. So I shrunk rather than stepping up. And I know this is part of my path this time, is to step up. Yeah. And Trisha, thank you. I feel like I've been in the light, but I feel like I've not, turned the volume up as bright as I can. And I know that's part of my path. And I know, here I am at 53, slowly turning the light up, slowly stepping onto the stage. And I feel like it's going to happen a little bit quicker, especially with what happened on Saturday with that full moon and that, eclipse. I felt like that was like, okay, ding, 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 here's what's coming. So with that in mind, and as this guy and I were having dialogue, I said, you know what? I'm feeling prompted by Spirit to talk about this tonight. So I pulled up several images, and I'm sure some of you have seen the images of the one I keep seeing is the kangaroo hopping by with the flames behind. We've seen the koala bear that have been burned, the wallabies. I just read they're dropping tons and tons of carrots and other vegetables, root vegetables, just in random places for, I think it was the wallabies to eat, because they don't have food. I've seen the harsh image of, I think it was a baby kangaroo hanging on a fence, just charred to a crisp. They're tough images from a human perspective to look at. And and when I do this work, if I'm in this mode, it's not that I'm not human, but I'm here to do a job, so I'm very much up here looking down. And I can talk about these images that I'm seeing in my mind, and I can talk about them from a very high level, and I can feel my humanness kind of ache a little bit. And I feel like I don't use the word gift a lot, but I do feel like one of my gifts is to be a little impartial, detached, especially when I need to be, to do the work I need to do, like a doctor, looking down at the patient who's open to them. They need to be there to do the work. They don't need to be emotional about this at all. And sometimes that's kind of how I feel like it gets for me, which can often make me feel cold and callous, and sometimes appear that way. But this definitely below the surface, it's not that. And I've also think I've protected myself as that, that child trying to figure that out. So Norm said, what do you think the loss of 1 billion animals gone on this earth has done or will do to the energy of the balance? And that's exactly one thing I'm talking about. I saw that number today and I was like, wow. First of all, the logic part in me is like, how do they determine that? It's like, how do they determine that? Which is just a weird logical thought to have. And I'm being very open about this, because that's like, I went to logic. Like, where did they get that number? But I don't doubt that. So when I look at these images, this is what I get. It's very similar to what I get when I look at how many animals are euthanized in the U.S. It's slightly different, and I'll go into that. So when I look at the animals in the U.S. that are being euthanized every year, what I see is, in the word for both of the animals, like especially in Australia and in the US for the euthanizing, is warrior. So the word warrior comes up. And when I think of a warrior, I think of one who goes into battle with purpose. I think of one who goes into battle knowing they may not come back alive. And what I'm referring to is from a high-level soul contract. My chair was moving, and Bartolomeo, my cat Bartolomeo is right here. He comes with me when I do this stuff. So they've signed up on a high soul level, just like you and I have signed up to live in a certain place, prone to have certain diseases and problems and issues, and we've come here to grow and to enlighten. What I think the animals in the U.S. especially are for all the euthanizing is it's showing us as humans how far we still have to go when it comes to how we respect life, how we respect the sanctity and value of it. It doesn't mean that we shouldn't try to save them, try to do all these things, but they're there as warriors, just like you and I are. I mean, we all have all of our stuff to deal with. We have the emotions to deal with. We have the heaviness of family and government and burdens and things like that. And then when I move over to Australia and I tap into the energy of that, this is where, one of the big things right now is climate change. And for the first time that I can remember, it has really moved to the front of the line with people just denouncing it, that it's not real and it's not true. And I feel like what that has done is taken the vibration and just amped it up. So here is our Earth. Here is our planet with, and I haven't looked up the earthquakes, what's been going on so much, but, here is, every once in a while there'll be a wave of just, the Mother Earth is just shaking and just like, oh, people, but this is absolutely, part of Mother Earth's, plan and way to shake us up. And fire is transformation. Fire is, in tarot and wands, is about spirituality. It's about transformation. Fire burns things away to make way for the new growth, the new learning. So here are all these animals. And the other big thing that I got from tapping in and seeing a lot of the images and reading just a few of the articles is this is giving us as humans an opportunity for purpose, an opportunity to be heroes and to be warriors ourselves. Just whoever's, whoever's cutting carrots and whatever the other root vegetables are to put them in a bag, to fly over and drop them. I mean, just think about that feeling that they're having. Think about these people who are going out and I saw a picture of like 7 baby kangaroos that were rescued. I don't know where mama is. I didn't get to see if mama was even around, but here's someone going, yes, I'll step in. Yes, I'll take over. So it's giving that person purpose. It's giving all of us. I'm getting total cold chills here. So when I tap into it, I see them, from a very high place, being these warriors that are literally like shaking us and saying, look right here, right now. A billion animals that is shifting, and here are a billion energies moving out of body into energy, when I see that, I see great change from the other side of the veil. And just it's shifting our own energy. It doesn't take much to tip the balance. And if you've ever read, I think it's Masimoto, the images in water, it doesn't take much to tip the balance and bring the vibration up. So let me just read a couple things here. So when your beautiful dog passed, you said to her that if she ever wanted to come back to meet me at some point, how lovely that would be. And she did, and I know it's her, the way she found her way back to me. It's such a wonderful bond we have. Just wanted to share. That is beautiful, Kim. And I'm assuming you're referring to like a reincarnation, because when I work with clients in animal communication, probably only about 10%, like 1 out of 10, do I feel the animal tell me to tell this person they're coming back. So I don't want to say it doesn't happen a lot, but I don't get a lot of those people. But I love when it happens, and I totally believe it. And a lot of times I get images of what I call overlay, like an overlay of a past dog or cat onto a current cat in the house. And I don't feel it's fully them because of like timeline couldn't be them, but an overlay. There totally could be a walk-in, just like humans have walk-ins from beings. But then also I get a lot of like grandparents who never knew the grandchild incarnation, and they come into the animal so they can be with them and feel, and they just overlay into that energy. Lorraine said, it breaks my heart to see those pictures. I was really shocked of the camels being shot as they're coming into townships. How can that be right? What are your thoughts? I didn't see those pictures. I don't know what the rationale behind it is. The first thing when I read your comment, the first thing I hear is fear on the part of the people, and not so much fear of the camels, but it's fear of what the next step is, what to do with it. There still are big cultures and people and just individuals who still look at an animal of any level, any breed, any species, as just a soulless, unknowing, unevolved creature and being. So, and I'll tell you, my personal involvement, I didn't look at them as like they were soulless, but I certainly looked at growing up in a family business. We had guard dogs. I did not feel the soul connection I do now. And I've since, looked back on those creatures and thanked them for the lesson, even as brutal as it might have been. And brutal by meaning they lived outside. Florida isn't that cold. They slept on concrete. It was not the ideal circumstances. It would not be how I would allow a dog to live these days. But back then, when you know better, you do better. And I absolutely know better and I absolutely do better. And I think that's one thing that will happen out of all this. People will start to see and understand and do better because of that. So Kim said, I've always worked with animals and people. I've worked end of life care, and I've been a part of many of the people's journeys, passing it over to have them tap onto my higher self and do my job, making that journey with them pass over as a massive privilege. Beautiful. Making their last days moments the best they can. That's beautiful, Kim. Beautiful. That's heavy work too. It is heavy work. And there are people who I think are very appropriate to be there. And then Kim said, and not forgetting all the animals, mostly dogs, being slaughtered for meat. Yes, absolutely. And that, and that's a whole nother thing that I was not prepared to step into. But there are cultures that eat animals for food that we don't. And I'm sure there are plenty of people in this chat room that still consume meat, and people that are vegetarian or vegan. Personally, I take a lesson from kind of a lot of the indigenous people that if they do consume meat, they thank the being, they thank it for its energy. And when I tap into the energy of animals on that level, they come in to experience and they gladly share their body for the sustenance of the humans. Just like when I pass, my body goes back into ashes and the trees absorb me and the plants absorb me. It is this beautiful cycle of life. How it comes to that point is still part of our lesson, is still pretty difficult for a lot of people. But, that's why I am a big proponent of no matter what food you're eating, bless it, be grateful for it, and raise its vibration up and honor where it came from. It's very mindful to honor where the food came from, to honor each hand that touched it, each being that was part of it. So yeah, so that's a big challenge. And for me, I'm personally eating less and less meat. Fish is a big part of my life, but less and less meat as we go on. And we'll see where it goes. But it's one of those things where I encourage people to allow people to, be where they are. If they ask questions, you absolutely can coach them and guide them. But, to reprimand someone for where they are at this point in their life, I don't think that it helps anybody involved. And also, you can look to any place in your life and see where you might, just like the device that I have and that I use, where it came from, how it was manufactured. There might be a very, very hostile work environment, place, low wages, almost like, poverty-stricken people being paid very low. But it's one of those things where honor where things came from and take that. And with the animals in, around the globe, and even, honor them as the warriors they are. And what I was thinking about today when I was preparing for this is that, when you see the images, I encourage people to see them as little warriors. I encourage not to pity and not even to feel sorry for them, because I think that's lower vibration. You as a human, you can honor how you feel about it. If I'm driving down the road and I see any animal on the side of the road, roadkill there, my first response is, oh, poor baby. And then I immediately go, that's my human response. I honor that. But then I say, wow, little warrior, thank you for whatever message you're bringing to me or somebody else. I wish it weren't this way. I wish, I honor it, and I want to learn, and I want to grow from it, because that's one of the things as an animal communicator, I feel our animals are here to help us grow, to help us evolve, to help us ascend up that ladder of evolution and spirituality and growth. And Gina said, starting to give my food Reiki. That's beautiful. Beautiful. Kim says, always honor, but I can't bear to eat meat. Personal preference, each to their own, but take that on responsibility. Absolutely. Yes. Yes. And it is, it's one of those things. It's one of those things that we've got to honor where people are. Do your best, to honor and, where you come from and allow them to be. But like I said, if they start asking you questions of why, there's your open door. And it's one thing to tell someone how they should eat. It's another thing to just explain to them why you choose to eat the way you do. I think we go farther that direction. That's that. But we also do need the warriors out there. And, as a gay man, I've never waved the flag and I've never put it in people's faces. I always felt my personal role was to be me the best I can be. And when people ask or question or wonder, I honor who I am, and I try not to, I avoid the lies I've told long before. But I also realized that if I didn't have the people, in the parades, fighting back, then I wouldn't be where I am able to be today. So we've all got a purpose. And that's what I think that, a lot of it is finding where your purpose and your best fit is. So any other final questions before I shift a little bit into the numerology? You're welcome, Norm. And it is, and like I said, and this is the part I have to always tell people, I'm talking from a very high spiritual place. When I come down into the human, absolutely, if we can rescue a dog or a cat, if we can get neighborhood cats spayed and neutered, if we can do, whatever it is to help prevent this, then absolutely do it. If the Sato Project, if I send money to that, they're rescuing dogs in Puerto Rico and bringing them to the United States, rehoming them. Because from what I understand, in Puerto Rico, there are so many wild dogs just in the island breeding and just growing. So whatever you find, whatever you can do, just like, from, being green, literally, if all you did was just stop using plastic bottles, you personally will make a huge impact. Whatever it is, if you use a towel in your house twice as long as you normally do before you wash it, you are making an impact on this globe, and every little bit helps. So just, and this is again, like we talked about Cleanism earlier, just, say, Spirit, show me where I can make simple and small steps towards loving this planet, raising the vibration, bringing everybody along with me, and just see what comes up. So, and Kim said, my dog this past year, her birthday was the same day as the 24th June. The dog came back and turned up on my birthday. Oh, beautiful. Very beautiful. So here's what I got excited about. I watched an amazing video. I can't remember her name now. If I remember it, I'll tell you. Was it Denise Mange? But anyway, so it was a really beautiful video. It was almost like a TED Talk, but it was at an expo, kind of a woo-woo expo. I forget the name of it. It was like AAE or something like that. Anyway, she did a beautiful talk, and she reminded me of something that I do so much personally, but I don't do a lot for the people that come to me. So I have, and let me see. I thought I wrote it down. Oh, I did. Where did I write it down? I did. So there's an app called Pocket Numerology. You don't have to get it, but I love it because it's very, very simple. It's just you plug the name in and you go. So what I want to do for you guys, and you can get that app later, but if you would like a quick numerology on your dog's name, if they're, first of all, let me just go with single dog names. So if your dog or cat or any animal, I shouldn't say just dog. So if any animal and just post one to begin with, has a single name, like we have Sheldon. He doesn't have 3 names. We have Bartolomeo. Just type in their name. Make sure you spell it correctly because that is very important. And make sure you give me, to begin with, give me their real name. like Bartolomeo is his name. Now we'll call him Bart, Bartolo. So give him the real name first. And I'll do the quick numerology and kind of just tell you what that means. So Kim wrote in Sheba. So Sheba is a 16 number. So it boils back down to a 16, which is a 7. And 7 is very metaphysical. It's mystical. It's spiritual. It's research. It's solitude. It's this analyzing number. So Sheba will have a lot of that energy. And I love this calculator because this talks about, like personality. So this will be a very independent, strong personality individual. Or animal. Their heart's desire would be very relationship oriented. And then the personality would be very much a leader, very strong in nature. So Kim, let me know if that resonates with you and with Sheba. And let me go with Muffin. And then here's the other thing. When I think of the name Sheba, of course it's a number 1. Sheba, it's strong. So sometimes just the sheer name, because when I think of Muffin, I think of a yummy treat, so immediately I think, oh, we would just want to eat Muffin up. Of course, Muffin's probably very, very cute like that. So Muffin is a number 5, and you guys hold off just a moment where I can catch up because I don't want to lose everything. So Muffin is a number 5. So 5 is very shifting. It's changing. It's this versatile number, very resourceful, freedom energy. But they make friends very easily. The heart's desire would be a 7. So the heart's desire is like, okay, I want to be independent. I want to be strong. And the personality the same, very strong and independent kind of personality. So let me know if that makes some sense with Muffin. So Elsa. Oh, and Elsa, that's another name. I'm like, yes. Elsa, strong. And then you just think of any Elsa you ever know. So Elsa is a number 3. So 3 is very much about, speaking your truth, imagination. It's creative optimism. Purpose is very ambitious, but can be subordinate to sometime. The heart's desire is a 6, so that's very much about relationships. And the personality is a 6 as well. So very, very friendly, can be sometimes like undecided. So that's Elsa. So for Boo, I love that. So Boo is a 7, so that would be very similar to what I just said just a moment ago. So very independent, original, strong. Heart's desire is a 5, though. So very friendly, loves to make friends. Personality would be very gentle and friendly as well. So Boo seems got a lot of friendly qualities to it. And then Norm, you've got Tiffany. We had a Pomeranian named Tiffany as well. So wait a minute, let me make sure. Yep, Tiffany with an I, Tiffany. So Tiffany is a 1. So leader, strong personality. Heart's desire is very much, important, very creative, ambitious, kind of likes travel. So I wouldn't be surprised if Tiffany likes to move a little bit. And then, let's see, who was next? Tiffany. Keely. Oh, I love that. So immediately, Keely, I think, kind of squirrely and kind of fun, like very artistic and creative. So purpose is a 7. So independent, original, strong personality. Heart's desire is an 11, which is a master number. So that's the number of light. It's that hidden knower. It's very, very light, just a powerful number, which also boils back down to a number 2 as well. And then personality is a 5, so very friendly, easygoing for Keely. All right, so, and Kim said she is so independent and your shadow, I love it. So Kim, I'm going to hold off on yours until I got to everybody at least once. Don't put a second name up yet until I get to everybody just one time, just to see where we are in time. So let's see. So Saladiv. Saladiv. Oh, I like that. So Saladiv, Charlie passed 1-7. Oh my goodness, just a couple days ago. Sending you beautiful high vibrations right now for you and Charlie energy. To my own knowledge, since I rescued him, 12 years, gotcha. Want to make sure he's okay and know that I love him. So so I'm not going to do a reading for you because I need the picture beforehand. And on my event, if you read the instructions, it tells you what to put in and picture wise, but I need to have that at least 30 minutes or more before. So in 2 weeks, I hate to butcher your name, Salidev. So in 2 weeks, I'll be back, post a picture in the next event, which is on the 26th, and I'll do a reading then because I'm just doing names tonight. So yeah, but let me do for Charlie, let me do the name for Charlie and give you a little insight into that. Oh, 2. So definitely that beautiful partnership, loving, very creative, imaginative. Heart's desire, though, is a 7, so very independent and original. Personality is a 4, so very solid, very distinct character for Charlie. And then Tammy has for Sadie. So Sadie is a number, I spelled it wrong. Sadie is a number 5. So that is, makes friends easily, very personable kind of energy. The heart's desire is a 7, very independent and original. Personality as well, independent and original. So very, very independent all the way around there. So that was Sadie. Okay, Gina said yes, definitely Elsa. And Kim, yeah, we'll get, if we get to a second round. So Ellen, Buddy, so before I even look that up, Buddy is just, it's got to be friendly, fun, just like, let's go have a beer kind of energy. This is our first number 8, I think. So Buddy is a number 8. For the purpose. So this is the purpose. Very much misunderstood in life sometimes. So I wouldn't be surprised if maybe people don't always know what to expect from him. An intense nature. Heart's desire for Buddy is 7, which is independent and original. And then the personality is very, very independent and strong, a number 1 for the personality. So Buddy is, you're going to have to let me know, Ellen, how that resonates, because that one feels very, I almost feel like for Buddy, you might have had to do a lot of behavioral training, or if Buddy was a rescue, he came from somewhere where you had to really rehome and help kind of shape him, or there's been some tension because, again, strong personality, maybe this misunderstanding with him. But again, from the start, Buddy is friendly and fun. So Lorraine said Muffin is a Jack Russell. Say no more, Lorraine. My brother has a Jack Russell. The only dog that I know that is more rambunctious and full of energy than a Pomeranian is a Jack Russell. The Pomeranians spin and Jack Russells, they just jump. Let's see, personality with the big boy. Yep, big boy inside of a little boy. Yep, I love it. No, Kim, don't worry about it. It's okay. We'll see if we can get to some more. So yeah, so I just want to make sure I get to everybody. So Cheryl is JJ the animal? Because I love that it's just JJ. So let's see what JJ. So JJ is a 2. So purpose is a 2. So that would be imaginative, artistic, very romantic. So probably a lot of loving and cuddling. And personality is a 2 as well. Gentle, friendly, very imaginative all the way around there. So now, let's see, Ellen, he just bit your son, but he's friendly. He just bit your son? I think you mean bit. So yeah, so there's probably misunderstood. Absolutely. So here's what I want to do. Kim, Kim, what was the first one we read for you? Sheba. So Kim, I want to know if you have a nickname for Sheba. Do you call her, Shebi or something like that? Because, and here's why. So Kim, if you have a nickname for Sheba that you use a lot, type that in. And here's why. Because if I type my name in as Mitch, yeah, okay. Yeah, gotcha, Ellen, gotcha. So if I type my name in, Mitch, so everybody calls me Mitch. So my purpose is an 8. My heart's desire is a 1. My personality is a 7. But when I add the ELL, it all shifts. My purpose is a 1. My heart's desire is a 6. My personality is a 22, which is it's able to turn your dreams into reality. A 22 is a master number. It's the master builder, the visionary, knows how to articulate large projects, powerful skills of manifesting, the humanitarian. So when I started doing this work as a psychic and medium, I just naturally went with Mitchell on all my stuff. And, at work, I use the name Mitchell. Okay, good. So Ollie, a.k.a. Yoda. Okay, so Christy and Kim, I'm going to do both of those so we can see kind of the difference, because I want you to see, because when Bartolomeo came to us, his name was Guido, which is a 3 purpose. So very ambitious. He was coming into a household of 5, and we didn't really need ambition. So we changed it to Bartolomeo. Bartolomeo. And that is a 6, which is carrying out a plan, can be obstinate, unyielding. So I remember doing the work, and I remember thinking it came out better. Personality was friendly, sometimes undecided, and that can be him. So Guido was less friendly, and Bartolomeo was more. And it wasn't like we changed it to it, and then we changed it to it because of the numerology. We changed it, and then I checked the numerology later because I felt like it was better energy. Because Guido just feels very combative. So, all right, so let me look up. So Sheba Diva. So Sheba was the 1 personality, so strong personality. But when I add the Diva, D-E-V-A, it goes to a 2 personality, gentle, friendly, and imaginative. So if Sheba is being too strong a personality, or she's being too aggressive, you maybe go, all right, Sheba Diva, immediately she'll calm down because you threw that 2 energy, that gentle, friendly nature. But if she's being aggressive or something and you got Sheba, you're just adding to that, kind of like, okay, be the leader. I'm telling you, do it, be it. So this is why sometimes, and I'll be honest with you, dogs, once they have a name, they pretty much know their name. Cats, they don't care. Sometimes they don't care. When I connect, sometimes I said, I don't think your animal likes their name. And usually the person will say, we've been thinking about changing it. And I'm like, well, here's the energy of what I feel. I'm not telling you to change it to this, but something along those lines. So the name of the animal, just like your name, just like anything, carries a vibration with it. Right, Norm? And if you don't know me, I love numbers. So this is extremely interesting for me. So Kim said, yes, that's what I tell her, and she does it. Cool. So let's go with Ollie versus Yoda. So Ollie, the personality, I'm just going to go with personalities. Personality is friendly, sometimes undecided. They can be a little determined to carry out their plans. But if we go with Yoda, then it's a number 5, which is make friends easily. Others see them as a little high strung. So you live on your nerves and appear to crave excitement. So Yoda could be a little more high strung and, thrive off of that excitement and craziness, where Ollie could be, what did I say it was? Ollie can be a little bit more balanced with that 6 energy, a little more balanced, a little more nurturing. So just so you know, what did I say it was called? The pocket numerology is what I'm looking up to just calculate this. You could just go online, numerology calculator, and type it in real quick just online. But also there's, what's it called? There's a numerology app that I use, which is in Apple, and it's by Infinite, N-I-L, and I'll type that in case you want to look at it, but it's a number 9, and it's purple, Infinite, N-I-L. So if you want to look that one up, that's the numerology, and that one's free, but the cool thing is if you purchase the app, then you can take your name and the person you're dating's name and see compatibility. You can, if you're bringing a new animal into your house, like say you're going to bring Sheba into the home of Ollie, then we can type those names in and see if they're compatible with the energy of their name, which is really kind of cool. And not only does it say whether they're compatible, but it gives you a little insight into how you might be able to better understand their personalities. If you know that, let's say if you know that Sheba likes to be alone and likes to be a leader, and Ollie needs friends and stuff like that, you might just say, you know what, Ollie, let Sheba be by herself. Sheba needs to have alone time. It's okay. I'll play with you, or we'll get somebody else to connect with you. So yeah, so just beautiful, beautiful, fun stuff. So Kim said, I love this. Amazing, but so true. I have a Jack Russell Arthur dog, also known as a half dog, He's nothing like a Jack Russell. Ah, cool. So any questions about the numerology, type them in because I'm bringing this to a close. I only got about 6 more minutes, but not any numerology questions. But I mean, not me calculating the numerology for you. But if you have questions about the app or anything I've said so far, definitely type that in. And next Sunday night, because I alternate, so in 2 weeks, I'll be back for animal communication. And if you want to get a full-on reading from your animal, well, not full-on, but it's a mini reading, just go to the, I've already uploaded the next event, and you just read the instructions, and then we'll tell you what to, you know, you're going to write the name, whether they're alive, any issues, and post a picture of one animal. And then make sure you show up, because if you're not here, I don't usually read it, because I like a little feedback. Norm, you are welcome. Thanks for showing up. So, the first app is just called the Pocket Numerology, and it's funny because both of them are purple and both of them have a number 9 on them. But Pocket Numerology, and the other one is just a numerology app. But if you scroll up, you can see Infinite NIL. That's the one where it calculates the full name and birth date and everything. But if you want to just calculate just quick and easy, Pocket Numerology. You're welcome, Kim. So any other questions about stuff tonight, you guys? And thanks for sharing and posting this out there, especially if you know some people that have got some animals. And if you ever want to have a one-on-one with me, I do the animal communication, either Skype, FaceTime, phone. When you purchase from me, the questionnaire asks you to put in a picture, and then I work with the picture. I usually pull the picture up about 5 or 10 minutes before I call you, and I write down all the information I get. I'm communicating and dialoguing with your animal, and then I show up and go over all that, and then you have a lot of time to ask questions about it. But it's this way, it's just one-on-one between you. And you can find all that at mitchellosborn.com, right there. But also do tarot readings and mindfulness transformation. So you're welcome, Christy. Thank you, Kim. But thank you all for showing up, hanging out with me. Yes, a one-on-one. How and when can I book, please? mitchellosborn.com. Let me see if I have a lot of, let me see if I can do. Yay. Oh. There we go. So I have, I love, what do they call, shortcuts? So I have so many shortcuts. So all I have to do is type BOOKIT and it puts the shortcut. So there's how you can book a session with me. Hey, Liz. Liz, I want you to go back and watch this if you just showed up, because so Liz is my fellow Pomeranian lover. Liz, how many Pomeranians do you have in your life right now? And how many have you had? Fabian and I have had 2, Tiffany and Lovita. Christy, I'm halfway there getting a one-on-one for you. Hey, Christy, when the time is right, you'll know. You'll know. Trust when the time is right. What, Liz? None right now? Oh, I know you love your poms. You've had 4. Poms are just like any breed. When you find a breed that you're in love with, there's just something about them. Those Pomeranians are just balls of energy. We have, and if you don't know, I have Sheldon. He's an 18-and-a-half-year-old dachshund. He's in great shape, doesn't have many teeth. Can't see very well, doesn't hear very well, but everything else is working just fine. Has stinky breath, drools a lot because his tongue hangs out. But, you know, we about once a week now, we look at him and we say, we love you. Hang around as long as you want. But when you're ready to go, we're going to say goodbye, whether we have to help you cross the rainbow bridge or you just take your last breath. You know, we're there for you, buddy. So I've known him 13 years. He's the longest animal I've ever known. And Fabian's known him almost the entire 18 years. Oh, so Liz, your girlfriend has 2, so you go visit her. There you go. It's like having grandkids. You get to visit and walk away. So, all right, you guys, I'm going to sign off. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Be back for this animal talking with animals in 2 weeks. A week from tonight, we'll be doing mindfulness transformation. I usually do a little subject matter. The next one I'm going to do is how passion can spark your resolutions but not pressure them. And I use the acronym of RESOLVE. I'm pulling most of my information I pull from the mindfulness.org website. And then I do a little education in the beginning, about 10, 15 minutes. And then I take everybody through a mindfulness meditation designed on what we talked about. So it's usually just about 30 minutes. And you can always go back and watch the past ones on my YouTube channel. So I save them in the playlist for mindfulness. Kim, I'll be honest with you, I will get through as many as we can. I always tell people just put one picture, but if a lot of times people have they pick up, here's so-and-so. I'm like, if they're 30-minute sessions, I'll get through as much as I can, but I usually just work one at a time. But honestly, I will get through as many as we can in the 30 minutes. It just depends on what you're looking for. If you got one with some issues and another one you just want a quick connection with, we can do that as well. All right, so thank you, everybody. It's 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I'm signing off. Namaste to you all. Until next time, bye-bye.